7:53 now. Cyber attacks are not stopping. In fact, some experts predict it will just get worse this year, with damages costing the world $6 trillion annually by 2021. We have our tech expert Dave Hatter in studio to tell us how we can protect ourselves. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jessica.
So glad to have you with us. I mean, what a year 2017 was. So many different companies. It seems one thing after the other.
It was a bad year for hacks. You had Equifax, you had Uber, you got a lot of these things, not to mention just the increase in attacks against individual people. You know, Gina Rametti, the CEO of IBM, said this is the single worst crime that faces most companies, but it's not just companies. You know, companies are getting hacked, you're having your data stolen there, but they're after you individually, and that's the thing I want to always try to stress to folks. People think, well, I'm just one person, why would anyone attack me?
Right.
So much of this stuff is automated. It's easy for the bad folks to get to you, and they've figured out ways to monetize this stuff through ransomware and that kind of thing. The average ransomware attack is up to $1,077. They estimate that 1 out of every 131 emails has some kind of malware associated with it. So they are out to get you individually, as well as steal your information from companies. So yeah, it was a bad year.
I heard some crazy number here that I read, and it said FBI says 4,000 cyber attacks a day?
Every day.
Is that
And well, you know, and I would say a lot of these are going unreported. So I would say that number is on the low side, unfortunately.
Wow.
And that's quite an increase over, 2 years ago it was 1,000 a day. It's up to 4,000 a day now. And again, part of this is because the criminals have figured out how to monetize this stuff, right? They infect your computer, they encrypt it, they make you pay money. They did a survey and found out that roughly 64% of Americans are willing to pay the ransom to get their data back. Most of these folks are not in the United States. There's no way to prosecute them. So you either lose your data or you have to pay. Again, even if you get a $100 ransom, if you can hit 100 million people via an automated attack and just get 1% of those to pay, you've made a lot of money. And that's the thing people underestimate. There really is a lot of risk because they want your money. They figured out how to attack you. And I predict it's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
Which is scary. So what do we do to protect ourselves? And how do we keep up with the changing events?
And that's probably the biggest problem, Jessica. This stuff changes so fast because, you know, the folks like Norton who are making software that try to prevent this kind of thing have to try to stay one step ahead of the hackers. The hackers only have to find one small hole. You have to defend everything. So a lot of it really is trying to stay educated and aware about the changes, which is tricky. There's great resources out there. The FBI has a bunch of information online. CNET has a great site that kind of is a how-to for regular folks. You don't have to be real technical to understand this stuff. And, you know, they have people that are getting paid to try to stay on top of it. You can use these resources. You can follow them on Twitter. You can go to their website. They'll give you all kinds of tips and tricks. You know, use strong passwords, install the patches on your operating systems. A lot of it's the same advice that you've been given over and over, but one of the tricks is, let's say you go out and you buy an automated, a smart TV. Well, that TV's got software in it. You're eventually going to have to patch that TV because hackers will attempt to find the flaws in that and use that to get into your network. So I know I sound like Davy Downer here. I always hate to be the guy bringing the bad news.
No, but it's helpful.
So much of it is staying educated and making sure you're following the advice from these vendors to install the patches and stay on top of this stuff because the bad folks are always trying to figure out how to get your information and steal your money.
Thank you so much for those tips. We're going to put them all on our website at Fox19.